welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to talk you into considering, at least, a career as a firefighter-medic. My guest is Scott Doggette from the fire department. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I think there are people who don't really think of this as a career move, or maybe thought of it, when they were a little kid and it seems real cool, and then people forget that this is a wonderful career and that it's open to all.
It's a great career, and it is open to all. Being a firefighter we do a lot more than fight fire.
Well, now, especially with the combined force, I mean, there aren't as many. We've done a good job with prevention.
We have.
We don't have as many fires.
We don't. We run a lot of EMS calls. We provide a lot of medical service to the city. We are an all hazards mitigation department. So we have our community risk reduction that does the fire prevention and the public education. Our fire suppression, of course, goes out and puts out fires. Our EMS branch that goes out and delivers emergency medical services, which is our bread and butter these days.
Yeah, that's what, 85% of your calls, maybe?
It's
maybe
probably
not
70.
70, okay.
But every single piece of equipment we have is either advanced life support or basic life support capable. So every time a fire truck goes out, it's carrying the same equipment that the ambulance has.
Well, yeah,
except
because
the stretcher.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to find when you get there, who's going to be injured. So
Right.
you've got the fire and...
Well, lots of people ask me, I called an ambulance, why did a fire truck show up? We want to get the closest unit there as possible and start treating the patient, and that's what we've set ourselves up to do.
That's really cool. So why did you become a firefighter?
I watched a show when I was a little boy, all about the fire department, and I loved it, and this is what I've wanted to do ever since.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Was anybody in your family? Because I think a lot of times, people follow in careers now as a family. Like if dad's a lawyer, daughter becomes a lawyer. But and firefighter isn't as common. It wasn't in your family?
It was not. My dad was a broadcaster. My mom was a school teacher. But in lots of families, legacy firefighters exist, and it's so tradition based.
Right, right.
That it's so I encourage people to come out and start a new tradition in their family and join the fire service.
So why is it a good career? Why, not only did you go in it, you've stayed in it, you've advanced.
I have. It's a good career because you get to see the city from a whole different perspective. People who join the fire service have this innate feeling inside themselves that they like to help people, and you get a chance to do that.
Yeah, you wouldn't go in it unless you wanted to do that.
Absolutely. It's a good schedule, 24-hour shifts, 10 shifts a month. It's a lucrative job. We start our firefighters off at a very handsome salary and start them the day we hire them. They start earning their salary, and through their training and the whole 9 yards, they're getting paid.
See, I don't think people know that.
I think
that is a great thing to emphasize.
I think people have to, I think a lot of people assume that you have to volunteer before you become a career firefighter. And we draw from our volunteers, and a lot of our firefighters have started their careers in the volunteer fire service, but you don't have to do that.
Right.
We hire people that have never set foot in a fire station before. And they make wonderful employees.
It's not a desk job, and there are a whole lot of people who get really bored sitting at a desk.
It becomes a desk job the older you get.
Well, yeah, it might be for you now.
It does not start as a desk job.
Yeah.
We're looking for young, and young maybe not number, young in mind, people that are physically fit, want to stay physically fit, lead an active lifestyle, and that kind of industrial athlete that wants to go out and challenge themselves and stay fit to fight and go throughout the rest of the day.
So this is a question I think a lot of women have. How fit do you have to be, and how upper body strength is, not always is easy for females to develop as men. Certainly there's a whole lot of people way more fit than me, and there are a lot of women in our fire departments, but how strenuous is that challenge?
It's strenuous, but it's nothing, you don't have to go out and become a bodybuilder. The women we have in the fire service are all pretty fit women, and They find their exercise routines in the fire station. We have equipped every single one of our fire stations with a lot of workout equipment. I think you find some competitions in the fire stations about within working out. The fire department diet has changed. You see a lot more healthy options and stuff like that.
It's not just chili or whatever the
chili or cheeseburgers.
Right.
Cheeseburgers on the grill are huge. But no, you see a lot of different things and healthy diets and healthy active lifestyles. And that's the type of person we're looking for that wants to come in and smart. You've got to have some problem-solving skills in the fire department. And so I want people who like to be challenged.
But you don't have to have a college degree.
You do not.
And I think that's important because there are a lot of people who can't really they're smart, but they don't necessarily have the patience to get a bachelor's degree or to write reports or read books. It's more of an active
but once you get into
thinking and problem solving.
It is. But once you get into the fire service, if you want to pursue a college degree, we have ways to help you do that, and you get plenty of time off to study because you got 20 days off a month.
That is, but you have to be able to do that. And,
right.
and I imagine you work a lot of weekends and a lot of holidays, especially when you're first in there, It's a good schedule, but it's also a challenging schedule, I would think.
Every third weekend, you're going to be guaranteed all weekend off.
Oh, what a great deal.
Right. So it works out. You work a Saturday, a Sunday, and then you're off a weekend.
So right now, you're beginning a hiring process.
Yes.
And you're looking for people who are physically fit, smart, problem solvers. What other characteristics? Want to help? Want to
help. We look for people with a high degree of integrity. We have earned the public trust, and we want to keep the public trust. We're looking for people that like to challenge themselves, and can stay in the fight or can finish the shift. You never can guarantee when a fire is going to come in.
Right.
Our shift started at 8 o'clock in the morning. 8:30, you may be dispatched to a two-alarm fire, as the crews were a couple of weeks ago at Amory's.
Oh gosh, that was a big one.
And then they had to work the rest of the shift. So people that can kind of stay in it for the long haul. My best potential applicant is somebody who wants to come here and stay 25 years and be our replacements.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have to know both. And this either is a good thing for somebody, or some people only want to be a firefighter, they don't want to be a medic, or they only want to be a medic, they don't want to be a firefighter. We want people to do both.
To do both.
And why is that?
It gives us a little bit more of a flexibility in scheduling. And it also helps people who don't. You can be on the medic and stay up all night very easily. But if you get to rotate and work on the fire truck one day and work on the medic one day, you don't get burnt out as quick. So it gives some flexibility.
And it's all about response time to our citizens too. If you've got more people who are flexible, who can do more things.
And we want to deliver the same level of care, no matter whether it's an ambulance pulling up, a fire engine, a ladder truck. Everybody's got the same mind and game, and I think it leads to a better service to our citizens.
Now, what trips people up? People who apply and don't make it, what are the hurdles they face, and how are you going to help them through those hurdles?
The first hurdle a lot of times is a physical agility test. People aren't quite prepared for that.
Because it's different. You can be fit and not know how to do that.
Right. So we open up, when we do our physical agility test week in September, the week before that, we will host practice sessions. A lot of our physical ability test is not just pure brute strength, it's some technique to it. We have peer fitness trainers that can coach on the techniques on how to do things. We've had people come on Monday of the practice week, and it's open every single day, and could not pass it that Monday. By Friday, they had it down pat, just from some techniques. So avail yourselves of that opportunity to come out and work with our firefighters who have been specially trained to be peer fitness coordinators.
So you're going to have, though, an orientation meeting, too, to let people know, because it's a long hiring process.
This is the first
We want to
year-
get the right people. We want to make sure
Yes.
they can do the job. We want to make sure they like it and they're a good fit.
Right. This is the first year that we've done this. We do a consolidated process with the city of Newport News.
And you have mutual aid, so
We do.
it can be, if you live near the city line, you could end up with a firefighter from the other department. It's all about who can get there the quickest.
Absolutely, absolutely. Our mutual aid has just started and really ramped up and is doing very well. Under the shared services initiative set forth by the city, we do a consolidated process, hiring process, and we share some of the costs associated with that. So we're going to offer 2 orientations, one in Newport News and one in Hampton, where applicants can come and talk to us about the application process. The process starts off with a written test,
Okay.
and once that written test is kind of
Written
done,
test on what kinds of things are you looking for?
general knowledge.
Okay.
General knowledge, and that's kind of where we start with for every process. When you leave that written test, you will have a date for your physical agility test. So we want to be able to let some people know, hey, this is what to start working on. You know, start working on some endurance. Start working on some upper body strength. Come out and see us during our practice times. And then once that is passed, they come in for a video-based interview. There's 2 of them. There's a structured oral process where it just has them talking to the camera themselves. And some people get a little nervous doing that. So we want
people get nervous coming on this show. There's something scary about a camera.
I'm nervous right now.
You are not.
But I want to be able to give some pointers to people who may get nervous about that and talk to them about that. Then there's a
And that's
piece.
something you can practice at home. Everybody can do, you know, a little selfie video and see how it looks.
Absolutely. So we want to talk to them about that. I think that's where potentially some good employees may get caught up. Then there's a candidate profile summary interview where an officer from the fire department, either Newport News or Hampton, will interview that person and ask them a few questions. We want to coach on that. We want to talk to them about putting your best foot forward, how to put the best stuff on your application that's going to make you shine. We want the best applicants that we can possibly get. We don't want to disqualify anybody. And it would, so that's what we want to do this year and give it a shot and let us help them so they can later help us.
So how long does this process take? You're opening the door now and saying to people, let's get interested. You're looking at kind of June, July
Right.
for the orientation sessions.
Orientation sessions will be in June and July. First one in Newport News, the second one in Hampton. We will then open up our application process on July 21st. It will go live online.
And you just do this once a year?
Once a year.
Okay.
So I am building a list to hire off for calendar year 2018. We will go through the physical agility test, or excuse me, the written test in August, physical agility test in September, the video-based interviews in October, and then along about November we'll be doing panel interviews and looking to see who we want to bring on board next year.
And then once they get hired, they have to be trained.
Right. So once they get hired, if they already have EMS licensure, that cuts a little bit out of it. If not, we're going to send them to EMT school, and then they start the Tidewater Regional Fire Academy, and that's about 16 to 19 weeks, and they learn how to become a firefighter. They're earning a paycheck that whole time.
Wow.
Yes, so it's paid training. And then they are kind of assigned to a fire station and start their first year in the fire department. And then a lot of on-the-job training starts, learning how the fire department works. But they may catch a fire on their first day on the job and be expected to go to work, but they're very well prepared to do that.
Well, you know, one of the sort of stereotypes about the fire department is you're a team. I mean, you really have to rely on each other, work together closely, trust each other.
Yes.
Know each other's capabilities, support, train, all that.
And living together 24 hours at a time, you get to know people very well.
I bet.
it's your family away from your family. You eat together. Everybody sleeps in the same room, answer calls together at all times of the night. So yeah, we're a family.
So on that 24-hour shift, you do nap in between calls, right? You can nap, or do you stay awake? I mean, how is it?
Yeah, typically during the day, we have work and training to do.
Okay.
So we try to train every day on something. We have the station work to do. We start off every morning by cleaning and checking our equipment. The fire trucks are checked every day. All the equipment is checked every day. And then there's some work to be done. We make the two most important decisions firefighters make about 10 o'clock in the morning. That's what's for lunch and what's for dinner. So we go shopping and do our shopping. We have lunch, evolutions in the afternoon.
Now, some people might be critical of the fact that you take that truck or whatever vehicle to the store, but that's because if you get a call, you go from there. You don't want to have to go back to the station.
Correct.
And leave from, you know.
We stay in service. You will see firefighters in the store with their radios on, and if they get a call, they're going to stop what they're doing and go get on the apparatus and take that call.
Yep, leave that frozen food right where it is.
Absolutely, and that's happened more than once. We have dinner, and then in the evening, we have some quiet time. Although we do nighttime operations training, but then everybody's allowed to go to bed. And if you get no calls, you sleep till the next morning.
But you could be out 2 or 3 times even, depending on EMS schedules and what happens.
You could.
Okay. Well, you know, it sounds like a cool thing. If this is the kind of career you think you want when you're 5, you might come back around and think about it some more.
You get to help people every day, and it really is a great job.
Okay. Well, thank you, Scott.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching. I hope you would consider a career as a firefighter-medic, or maybe suggest it to somebody you know who is young, fit, and ready for a new challenge in their lives. Thanks for watching.